Hey everybody out there, Brian with Next Level Ag coming at you today from the field of corn south of Danube, Minnesota. This field is planted with LG 48C87 and 48C or 46C85, sorry. And there is also a strip of Pioneer, I believe it's a 99-day Pioneer in the middle here also. I'm out checking a few fields today, just doing a late season check, or yeah, it is late season. The corn staging, we're seeing some denting on the ears already, so I'm trying to think what stage that would be. R3, R4, I think, technically. Tasseled out a couple weeks ago. At that point, we were checking for pest pressure, bugs and things of that nature. And we were debating on whether or not to do fungicide applications on the healthier fields in this area. I'll say it that way. Not a lot of high percentage, high crop health fields in our area in the immediate spot because of the high moisture we've had. Areas around us have had 40 plus inches of rain on the season. With our heavy black soil, we do not handle that well. Even the pattern tiled fields cannot keep up in some instances. So crop health is a concern, disease is a concern, so that's what we're out checking today. One thing I'm seeing today on my rounds, been in a couple fields so far, and the ones that have not been fungicided are seeing some southern rust set in, and I would say a concerning way. It'll be interesting to see how that affects us as we get into harvest. Some standability issues here. Doesn't seem to be necessarily a varietal problem, just areas where the moisture is high, the roots didn't get established as well, and we've had a lot of wind, so seeing some of that as well. I'll plug in a couple of pictures here too so you can see what I'm talking about, but some really nice looking corn because of the moisture, some really tough looking corn depending on when the moisture was hitting it the hardest and when the other storms hit. So a note on soybeans, I'll bring more of that later. We got our IDC trial that we're going to follow up on later in this video to show you what that looks like. Again, higher moisture year, so IDC wasn't a prevalent problem, but early season we were able to see some side-by-side differences between treatments, and thankfully we're holding up just fine against the competitive products. So I think that's going to be something that we'll be able to release for the coming year. So we'll show you that, and I'm going to keep walking fields. Won't you come along with me? A continuing note on this same field, if I remember correctly, I think this field was corn on corn. So the presence of corn rootworm was a concern. We did treat in furrow with insecticide, but as you can see here, we've got a little friend out here. That is a northern corn rootworm beetle. The adult stage, oh, there he goes. He got sick of me talking to him. The adult stage of corn rootworm in the northern fashion. They are out here late season, laying their eggs and trying to kill our corn next year, and or extended diapause and wait till the year after that, after we do have a field of beans here next year. So that's another thing we're noting, just the presence of beetles and other pests, and the presence of disease. Like I said earlier, seeing some corn rust. This portion of the field was treated with a fungicide, and thankfully I'm not seeing any southern rust setting in. These leaves are fairly healthy, somewhat wind beaten. I do believe we had a bout of hail at one point because we can see some holes punctured in the leaves, some bruising, and some other tattered effects here. Some things I'm going to look into a little further as far as leaf blight. I believe that's what this is setting in one of the damaged zones from a previous storm. So that's all the things that we're trying to protect when we do a late season fungicide pass. And I recently learned that the last pass that can pay, as far as the research that's been done, would be about right now, that it could still help prevent disease or prevent the severity of disease. We're right on the edge to where it'll yield a payback on the application for a fungicide. I don't know of many people that do it. at least in this area, maybe down south where they do have a little bit more of an extended season. But these plants are going to start to shut down here pretty soon. So I don't foresee anyone taking any extra action with today's commodity prices if they haven't done so already. Where the corn's good, it looks good, but where it's bad, well, it's non-existent because it'd probably drown out. Like I said, 40 inches of rain. 40 inches. It's a lot. We're used to 15 or 20, maybe at the most. We can grow good corn off of 7 before we can grow it off of 40. But congratulations, the rest of the Corn Belt. You win. You win this round. I have now crossed over into a section of the field that was not applied with a fungicide just after tassel. And I can show you here exactly what that southern rust looks like when it's setting. This is a minor case. I'll attach a couple of the photos of the more severe parts of the field, but this is what we get. We get splotches, almost like someone took a paintbrush of yellow paint and just flung it at the leaves. And then from that spot, starts to create a lesion on the plant itself and shut down the life of the plant. So photosynthesis will stop, intake of nutrients and infiltration will stop, translocation of nutrients and moisture within the plant will stop. Essentially shutting this plant down early, just not the full natural shutdown of the plant and maximized yield and kernel shutdown and depth and consistency that we would have hoped for. We'll see how it affects this field this year when it comes to harvest. I've heard some pretty extreme cases to where it can lead to a 20, even 30 bushel difference. So I'm hoping that it's late enough and not severe enough that we won't see that. The other concern that I'm curious about in this area, I've heard of tar spot getting really close. It is in southern Minnesota. I was in a plot last year up, I would say, middle northern Minnesota, up there north of St. Cloud somewhere. And we did see it in some varieties up there too, which was concerning. I'm not sure how it could jump over our spot and get up there, but it's exactly what it did because I didn't see any of it in our area. And just monitoring that to make sure that's still the case. I have not seen it in any of the fields I've checked so far. If I do, well, I'll tell you then.